Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spring Promotion Tournament. One series done on the day and we still have one more to go. This one, the Last Dance, formerly known as CLG Faith, going up against Maryville University. A lot to talk about with both of these teams, but we're going to be starting with the teams that we had, or provisional teams we had in Challengers, and hit up this roster first. Beatdown, because this was one that during their time in Challengers, during the spring split, things were kind of a little tough for them sometimes, and that did not stop going on as going into a tournament up ahead. They now find themselves as the Last Dance.
Yeah, to give them as much grace as we can, when they were CLG Faith, a lot of teams had roster troubles in NACL Spring, but nobody had anything close to what CLG Faith had to go through.
Yeah.
Several changes in various positions because of this reason or that reason, and because of that and other factors, they didn't end up performing very well. And now, because CLG bought out by NRG and they're no longer keeping that third string roster, now they've just decided to continue on with this spot on their own, and hence the name, The Last Dance here. I mean, most of what we saw towards the end of NACL Spring is what we saw from CLG Faith, with one exception. Now we have Messages in the mid lane, who is honestly a pretty promising mid laner coming through from the qualifiers, was playing for Native Gaming.
Yeah, Messages was super solid, as you saw, like Native as well as a roster too, was I find kind of put together, you know, just like with a couple of experienced pieces, but also ones that, you know, really had a lot of just newer insight into the game. And even looking at them going throughout the entire split for the Last Dance, right, things were more down than up, but hopefully we can see them recollect themselves going into today's series, I find.
Yeah, and looking into players to help them keep collected, looking specifically at NXI, because we talked about issues that were going on through, but NXI really need a big step up here in being able to take the team together to get across this first hurdle that is the promotion tournament.
Yeah, I think Messages coming in is really going to be helpful for him, because for the most part, the lanes of this team were really struggling, and as a jungler, there isn't much for you to be able to do when that happens. So now that Messages is here, they have a lane to play through, and that's why I'm keeping my eyes on this mid-jungle duo.
Yep, and now we got to talk and focus on Maryville University, who they're going to be going up against, because last time we got to see top seed against the bottom seed, and I mean, going into this, there is definitely going to be a little bit of a gap in a different way, as Maryville University very highly ranked coming into this.
Yeah, we did show the point breakdown earlier on for how much you can get in OQs. They got almost all of them. Was 240 out of 250, a ridiculous amount. Only dropped about 2 teams. And on the Maryville side, this has been their 5 core throughout the entire year as well. We spoken about previously how they've had a 10-man roster, but they stuck with these 5 throughout the entire split. And I find the team has only elevated as you've gone throughout as well. Like Maryville through all of OQs looked insanely dominant.
Yeah, and then if we're going to be talking about the jungle over on one end, then Beatdown, I feel like it's only fair that we kind of redo that focus going on forward and look at the odd orange on side of Maryville University here.
Right, and he's definitely been a long-standing player on this roster, and a lot of these players, with the exception of Scary Jerry, are, and he's also a player to be looking out for, who's honestly been kind of that driving force of this team's early game, and a big part of the early game successes that they find, of course, throughout the qualifiers here in NACL Spring. I mean, every laner on Maryville really starts to pop it off, and Odd Orange is just kind of the engine that drives this team.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Mita. Early game monstrosity, absolutely clutch at smites, and in both those clips that we saw, both NXI and Odd Orange 2, they have shown an affinity to the Lee Sin, to the Elises. So I think we will definitely see much more of that early game focus naturally, because Odd Orange, he loves nothing. Thing is, he loves more than ganking at level 3, he's ganking at level 2. So I think that's gonna be the so simple narrative, as he's had a lot of clutch plays, and both of them love to show off their mechanics on the Rift.
Hey, if that's how things are going to be going down already, then I am pumped up for this series. But also being able to see Maryville University play is always great, because this is definitely a team that has quite a bit of prestige behind them when you're looking down at what they're able to be doing in the league space. They know it as well. I mean, back-to-back NACL qualifying champs here, Ravish.
We mentioned already, they got almost all the points, only dropping 2 games throughout both OQs, making it to finals without any worry at all. And considering the dominance they've had, and I think they've translated that towards like other ends of their overall split as well, and all the tournaments they play in. Like, these guys are ridiculously good, because right here too, they're kings of the north in the CLAW season. They've won the actual CLAW like twice in general, like across twice, 3 times in general, and I think they've also been in finals a bunch of times. So Maryville, really good.
Yeah, kings of the collegiate space here, honestly. I mean, what they've been able to do beat down is just incredible. It's definitely a team that has been very highly talked about.
Right, and this is across multiple titles too, and just in League, we saw on that tweet that they're kings of the north because they are in the North Conference, and they've won it every year for the last 7 years now. And of course, like Ravish pointed out, a lot of top tier finishes from this roster. Even when they don't win, they usually manage to make it to the top 4. I've had 3 finals appearances and have won 2 of them, and it's just been some great stuff from Maryville as a program over these last couple of years here in League of Legends, and this year is just another year on top of all of that.
This team definitely has a story, but so do a couple of the players on the squad themselves. So we're going to be throwing to a little video with Zyko's thoughts about Sketch.
For the upcoming tournament, I want to relegate Sketch streams as much as possible, because me and him used to play together back in 2021 after I came back from a break. And since we're like really good friends and we were like pretty close back then, it just makes me want to beat him even more. No really other thoughts than just beating him as quick as possible.
That's brutal. We're really good friends, so I just want to beat him up as soon as possible. Send him out of here.
It's just guys being pals. I don't see what the problem is.
Just guys being guys.
What was so funny about that too is that I remember I even asking Zyko as well, like, let's say if you didn't manage to actually promote through getting NACL, would you be happy if you still promote if you still relegated Sketch? And he's like, yeah, I'd be fine with that. That's okay.
Hey, the rivalry, so everyone can be on their top game and be the best. It's like rivals, like in other series, pushing each other. So, all right. But it wouldn't be fair to just get Zyko's thoughts here too, all right? So what about Sketches?
Oh yeah, I heard he was doing a little trash talk, saying he was trying to relegate me. And personally, I'm not going to let that happen.
Oh.
Because I brought him from the dumps of solo queue up to where he is now. So I can say I made Zyko, and I'm going to put him back where he belongs. I'll say it started with me, because back on AoE, he was a very shy and quiet guy. And that was okay, but I had to make him open up and start like actually like talking more and doing more things himself, like going in. And he didn't do that until he played with me. And now he actually does that like 10 times more. So I'm actually proud of him for that. All I'm going to say is somebody's going to get the record death holder, and it's not going to be me.
Did you just like almost spit out your water during that one?
Yeah, that was funny. Oh my, like, he's basically saying like, yo, Zyko, I made you. Why are you talking about me like that? And it's great because he's citing the experience going down across the list. This is you, Zyko, before playing with me, and this is you playing after me. Just saying.
Ravish even made a meme for the occasion. First off, proud of your meme skills.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Shout out
really
Ravish Graphics Productions.
As you can see, it's my passion, but I'm thinking after the words that Sketch said, this matchup could go either way. It could be Zyko lying there on the floor, honestly.
Let's see.
Hey, honestly, being able to have a friendly rivalry, because they said they're good friends too.
Exactly.
So being able to have that friendly rivalry going on forward in this, I think is a lot of fun. And I'm more invested now than ever to see who's going to be taking this series, who's going to be pushing on forward with the fighting words, just how, especially Sketch, like I made him, like I pulled him out of the depths of solo queue to make him who he is today. And now Zyko's on the squad of Maryville University that going into this, there is going to be this potential for either team to be taking it, but Maryville definitely a little favored going into things. But we'll have to see. You know, the chef is like, I don't know. Maybe I'm caught up with the Kings of the North title, but we have a game to see. So I'll catch back up with you guys after this draft, after this game, and we'll hash it out there.
Thank you, Sierra, as always. All right, B, let's go look at this drafter once again. MU, good team, the most winningest team, and the last dance, we call them now. So far, no record at all. So, you know, we're going to these fresh races, and we'll see what they have to offer.
Yeah. Fresh faces. Never seen a lot of these guys before, so we'll see what comes through here. And the thing I'm most interested in really is what Messages is going to do for this roster. He's a player who he played him third party last year, I believe, and now got that shot with Native Gaming, and was someone who their GM actually spoke of very, very highly. Basically, from scrims, from his play when they actually got onto those quote-unquote stage games, and he's just been someone to keep an eye on here. Now you have a very strong lane that you can play for here for NXI, which didn't necessarily have throughout NACL Spring, and that offers up more opportunities for Last Dance.
Small note though, speaking of opportunities and such, all of the Last Dance players are now moving closer towards the East Coast, so they'll be playing on Chicago ping, so which is
a big one,
which should help out a lot from where the LA servers that they were at. Nonetheless, for now, the picks and bans to come in as the last one from the Last Dance. Varus naturally gonna be the priority. I noticed Lee Sin has not been taken away just yet, which is a champion that we were noting, but at least has been though. Otherwise, stuff has been pretty standard so far. We'll see what the last pick is. Caitlyn.
Right, so at this point now, I mean, a top laner is not exactly what I had my money on here. Of course, we know it hasn't been locked in yet, but there's still a lot of potential openers coming through here, and it is okay. We're not going to pick a jungle. We're picking the Jace. I'm thinking it's for Niles, just looking back on MU, but I'm sure Get Back could also be piloting this one as well. Either way, it kind of fits with what we were talking about. Like, Maryville, of course, a big strength of theirs is that they play together for such a long time throughout this whole year. It's been this roster so far, and a lot of these other players are tenured. You have strong laners who win these individual lanes and matchups and things like that. So getting them lane bully champions makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, naturally so. The entire program boasts consistency and the growth of their players for many, many years. Many of them gone on to LCS. For now, though, we'll see what Last Dance has to offer for the response. The Xayah picked up early on. The Khan was banned away. So perhaps maybe much more poke-heavy bot lane, but instead it'll be the flex pick of the Gragas for them.
Yeah, they did their research. They knew that lane was pretty big for Aaron and Sketch, and it means now we see the Gragas instead. NXI's definitely been playing that one throughout Challengers League in spring, those last couple of months, but of course, there's a lot of different options there for this champion. Still flex it around, you could throw it top for Vijani, and you don't give away too much.
But instead, the immediate response though from MU, the Zeri, the Annie. So still kind of flexing, I find, with the Annie pick, right? But the Zeri for sure for Scary Jerry. He's had a lot of pop performances on it. I haven't seen it a ton. I don't mind it necessarily, especially into the Xayah. But his vibe pick though, or NXI is, as this might be locked in, could be way more fun. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's a really common one into the Zeri, and it's strong overall. You use that cease and desist. You can follow the Zeri. She can't kite it out, and you're unstoppable during the channel. So makes a lot of sense here. It does mean NXI will not be piloting the Gragas, but still plenty of options coming through here. So nobody has revealed all their cards yet on either side.
Right. Just because across the board, one thing we know for sure is where the ADCs are going naturally.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Unless
maybe there's some craziness.
God, I hope not, bro. That would be I couldn't be able to handle it. But we'll see what the next phase of bans looks perhaps so for us too. Because to speak more on the actual flex picks as well, you were mentioning how this is a possibility for Nile as well in terms of the actual Jace pick. And Tej did speak about how Get Back had been expanding his champion pool. We've seen that mid before for the MU side. So still a lot of possibilities there as Cassante and Wukong get taken away, so limiting the jungle pool more for both sides.
Right, and that Cassante takeaway makes me wonder, or makes me think that Niles is going to be the one piloting the Jace on that end, and we are finally seeing more of that jungle pool pinch. The Lee Sin that you were talking about, Ravish, is now out of the picture, and the Odd Orange has to dig a little deeper, considering 4 junglers have been banned so far.
And this is, if they keep it up, I imagine it should be the Jarvan pick. these have been Odd Orange's go-to throughout the entire split. You know, at least Lee and Jarvan.
You're right.
So I think this might be where we're positioned towards. The Malphite ban is great, and I think signals once again that this should be the top pick for Niles in terms of the Jace.
Yeah, agreed. And I really like the Jarvan chat out there. It's really good into the Xayah. It's right into Odd Orange's wheelhouse, being that gank heavy type of jungler. And it's just a good pick at the moment here. So we'll see whether or not that one actually gets locked in. And now it's the Leona there, so more all-in potential. I mean, you pair that with the Gragas, with the Vi, your ability to CC and set things up, I think is really powerful here.
Yeah, because with this though, I want to see where the Last Dance gets their damage from when you can't get the final pick, right? Because I mean, Gragas can definitely go a bit more AP heavy, but he's not gonna blow up anybody on the team. And as we look at the side of MU, like as Stats continue to grow, they're really indexing a lot on the side of the Xayah. And as a final pick, we'll see what they pick up for the side of the Odd Orange. But I do let the Leona shout out, and
there it is. You're right.
There's a Jarvan pick. Okay,
that surely gets locked in. Like they're just having fun with it. Like it's just the best pick at the moment here. That Cataclysm, so good onto a champion like the Xayah. You can't use your Featherstorm to actually escape it. You have to blow the flash as well. And overall, it's just really strong at impacting early. You can get a lot of damage done in these lanes, and that's what we know Odd Orange to do. So Last Dance, they got to get something spicy for that last pick. The Syndra is honestly a pretty nice one because you have that ability with the Scatter of the Weak to disengage a bit on top of the Gragas coming through here. But instead, it's the Ahri. So you have that mobility, you have that really strong Vi Ahri combo, and it's perfect for Last Dance as well, because we were highlighting messages joining the team can be that big difference maker for the roster that struggled all through spring.
So we'll be paying a lot of attention to, you know, how this lane ends up going, because especially with the get back and messages, right? Get back has been such a rock for the team, as you're speaking about before, and on this Andy pick as well. I find him and Ahri should be at blows quite often, especially with the stun, you know, on timer that they have. So to play around that, but once again, refocusing on the timings the Odd Orange will have. But hey, I did want to take a couple of seconds to talk about these two compositions and how you find them interacting.
So the big thing that Last Dance is really hoping for here is that this mid jungle duo is what they need to get popping off here. NXI, just like Odd Orange, you have that ability to impact the early game. You have this good mid matchup here for the Ahri and a lot of playmaking potential. So it's really going to come down to execution. I don't have like a hard favorite in terms of either one of these drafts. You do get that extra bit of poke with Niles on the Jace, so that's going to be nice for them setting up for objectives. And you do have the Braum, who can absorb some of that damage as well.
Yeah, and this Braum pick too should be a lot of fun, but team fighting will be abundant in Maryville. And the Last Stand look to play their first game the first day of the promotion relegation tournament. Let's head into it. All right.
Wow. We're just gonna roll right past that one. So we're on the Rift, guys. Maryville, a team who we also had projected very highly to be able to make it to the NACL. Last Dance, no, we're not as high on them, but again, messages could be the difference maker, and that's what we're looking to see on a champion like the Ahri. Okay, thank God it's gone.
Okay, man, that was the...
If I don't look at the tweet, it can't hurt me.
Dude, it was so funny, man. We were looking at that before, just, the words are crazy. This man raised him, brought him into the world.
I'm glad you skipped out the one part, but yeah.
Yeah. Really, really fun stuff, but nonetheless, we'll look now on no early shenanigans from either side. I was thinking, you know, at least for MU, you know, might have done something, but instead just standard start assisted. Oh, so, you know, say no top lane, a little assist there to start for NXI.
Yeah, so you get some vision down. NXI is gonna be spotted out. They know the pathing that is going on here. You already see the pings coming through, so Odd Orange is going to do his best to track. And yeah, it makes sense. You have this bot lane. You want to be setting Scary Jerry behind, pathing towards this lane. Makes a lot of sense here for NXI. And it's interesting that Odd Orange is going the other way, but you have a Jace topside, a lane bully you also want to be playing for, and it's something you want to be prioritizing. So we're already seeing that come through.
Yeah. And this Chase pick, though, we spoke about it a little bit in terms of flexibility, but it definitely needs to get rolling sooner rather than later, right? Because we've seen Jace's play from behind, and it's not a pretty sight. You know, it's just like watching a sad kid at a playground with no friends. Like, I'm sure he'll get better someday, but today is not your day, man. So hopefully the Jace can find some friends. That was a bit of sad knowledge, my bad.
Well, we'll find out if it's Niles' day. So far, he's been able to do pretty good across the split so far through the qualifiers. Of course, again, Maryville, their laners being so good at finding these advantages naturally. And in this matchup where Gragas will be fine, all things considered. But you got to imagine Niles will continue having push, will continue garnering some bit of a gold and CS lead. And that's going to set you up really nicely for that Rift Herald.
Rift Herald priority has been abundant throughout this, just the first series especially, but yeah, all coming around. Sketch and NXI already linking up to set a vision for themselves and ensuring that, you know, there are no other early shenanigans going on. Just standing clear from both these sides. We were speaking of the early prowess from both these junglers and what they might manage to show, but
whoa, look at this.
All calm. Oh,
Odd Orange, they have the vision on NXI, and they know that he's going to be level 3 if he because they have the eyes on him. So instead of going for the scuttle trade, Odd Orange, oh, he's just gonna go for the invade. He's a level up. He's got so much health. His bot lane's pushing. NXI, no.
Zyko should be caught, timed beautifully, and he puts up the flag because he knows that's first blood to Maryville.
Really nicely done here. It's that good vision, the tracking that Maryville had done in these first few minutes to get them that perfect angle onto NXI. And it means that you take the craft very easily. A double scuttle could come through here. It means that Odd Orange will get that nice lead over NXI. And you'll see it in the replay again. Like they knew he was there. They had the perfect setup. Zyko moves first. You couldn't ask for a better play.
Yep. And we highlighted this already. The early game calls and looks is actually what their coach Tej really praised Odd Orange for. You know, we've already mentioned how, you know, he's solid at it, and this right here, the read that he had on NXI's pathing, just goes to show getting early advantage naturally. And I imagine Odd Orange will look to translate that into even more. Because, yeah, for now though, NXI hoping to get back some of the form that he lost, as at least they have topside vision control.
Well, he's not going to be able to really get much back. He managed to secure the blue buff, which is nice. But still flashed, still died, and got double scuttled. So off to a good start here for Maryville. You're seeing the early iron spike whip for Odd Orange. That's how that happened.
There you go.
Means it's going to really improve the wave clear already. And we're seeing Odd Orange clear faster as it is in those first couple of minutes. It's going to mean that he's going to get on the map faster than NXI because of the extra stats he's got going for him. And look at that, he's already on the map now.
He's in the lane, in fact, is looking around for wards. They back up, and I think
it's like fine.
Sketch, yeah, just knew something was gonna happen, and he'll just, you know, throttle off, try to find something else to do, keep himself busy.
Well, props to Aaron and Sketch, not getting too aggressive, recognizing the potential timer, and now that Messages is level 6, seeing them in NXI, sync up a little bit. They know that Odd Orange is there, so they have that option to make this play.
Oh, hop over the wall. It should become a 3v4, but it's just not in a position to do so as the wave is pushing in. But this is one thing that we're kind of talking about, thinking about what's going to happen with the mid jungle, but
okay.
There's just trades going on, just an ultimate, if anything, with Johnny on an even trade at least by the end of that.
I like it. Making Niles really fight to get that wave in, trading health, and as Gragas, of course, able to get that little bit of sustain coming through here. But I like what we saw from Last Dance overall. You have Messages at level 6, you have that push, the opportunity for him to move, and they're looking for things. That's the difference we were hoping for when we saw a player like this join this team. And although it hasn't borne fruit yet, they keep it up, they might be able to find something soon. But for the moment here, Maryville, interestingly enough, not looking to actually play for the first dragon. They just want to keep the pressure on, keep farming, and try to maintain this lead.
And to speak more on Message a little bit more too, is just how, like, he's also, you know, expanded a lot more of a champion pool as well, right? Because we were speaking about how back on Native Gaming he was very accustomed to the overall melee picks, right? Yeah. And now breaking out the Yardi as well, one of your personal favorites. So
that's true.
We'll go ahead and keep paying more attention to what more he does as he links up with NXI. For now, Zyko back again from his little roam, gets spotted on the... Oh, actually, no. There is a vision ward there, so does not get spotted as he sneaks back into the lane, but messages will be caught just a bit.
Just a bit. Manages to dodge the knock-up from the EQ, and it is going to give that information that Auto Orange is on this top side. So far, it's still Auto Orange, actually, who's a little behind in XP now, because you see NXI has already reached that level 6, and we're at a point, too. I favor Maryville for setting up for that first Herald, but neither team has gone for any objective just yet. We see Maryville now focusing more on that top side. Last Dance actually do have this opportunity. They could make a play and win that 3v3.
They have a deep ward as well into the actual pit, and Auto Orange just skirting around that. I don't actually believe he spotted on her either, so pushing the Rift as far as he can to try to take it, and I believe with the read that both junglers have on one another, it'll be a trade of neutrals. Nice slot through from Get Back, pushing messages away, but that should just be it. Still has flash.
Yeah, and it just... One, you have the ult, you know that your jungler is on the Herald and is going to secure it, but it's also just to make sure that NXI doesn't go in for anything last minute, because messages no longer able to join the fight. And now, even though they've traded 4 dragons, Maryville might be able to get more from this one, because now they want to make this play on Bejani. Look at his health. He's so low. They're going to dive him.
Yeah, Niles, but almost has very little mana as well, so just might have enough for acceleration gate and maybe just
a Get Back
power slam. Gets the knockup. Oh, good flash, but
all right.
Auto Orange can tank all of this. Yeah, has enough for 3 tower shots and even allows Get Back to get in on the action.
Yeah, nicely done by Bajani, but he had no health to be playing with. And now you get those extra turret plates. They're not going to overstay, actually, or even drop the Rift Herald. They're happy with the plates they were able to pick up. And with that kill and the 30 CS lead Niles has, you no longer need to help him, really. He's going to win that matchup all on his own. So now you can drop that Herald elsewhere. Bottom lane, maybe, for Scary Jerry. Mid lane for Get Back. You got a lot of options to play for.
Yeah, and to focus in on Niles as well, too. Niles has been and continues to be the biggest voice for this team ever since, ever since coming back from playing with GG as well, too. He's been such a phenomenal voice and shot caller for the Maryville side, leading them to multiple finals, to a couple different victories as well, and experience he carries cannot be understated.
Yeah.
Scary Jerry pops over the wall, and they're all fine.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking on that too, it's right. If you didn't know, Niles did play for the LCS on the side of Golden Guardians for a bit. It was actually 2 players from Maryville, Iconic, who I believe now is Wallflower, playing for a different team in this very same tournament. Both have that LCS experience coming through from the side of Maryville.
Yeah, flash traded away. So both fine on both ends as well. And it is on Tony Top that he's playing for.
Right.
Another one of our OQ teams with the tournament. I believe they're playing tomorrow, in fact. So good to see more of that. Nice ultimate to pop over. Messages walks out safely.
That's right. And although the gold lead is kind of small, it's really on these crucial parts of the map here. Top side, you have this lane bully Jace finish the Mythic pretty much ahead of everybody else, and you're seeing this gold lead really start to develop. That's 1,000 gold. Again, they didn't need to drop the Herald, so now he's going to be just collecting gold on his own, continuing to run that matchup, and now it's just about helping your mid lane out, helping your bot lane out, and even though you didn't get that first dragon, now you're going to be in a position to stack them.
We saw the trade go on previously, and as of right now, it might be a trade once again for the top lane action. Or Auto Orange just walks back, trying to get some of his camp. Not gonna be able to do so. Next eye. At least, it takes something away. Gotta feel good in terms of a moral victory, at least for him. But Johnny at least had the protection there to not get dove once again, as he was in a bit of trouble losing the matchup.
And we're seeing an example, really, of what Maryville's been able to do across both qualifiers, and it's just the fact that, look at their lead. With the exception of top lane, Auto Orange hasn't been affecting any other part of the map, but naturally, Get Back has a lead. Naturally, Scary Jerry and Zyko have developed a bit of a lead on their own, and that's just going to culminate in the team fighting prowess this team has because of all that experience that they have playing together here. And last need to do more. They don't want to fall too much further behind. It's already 2,000, but getting to those crucial item spikes, if Maryville find the right fight, they could get even more.
Yeah. As Maryville, as you were speaking about previously, have known to, you know, keep things pretty consistent and safe for their side as well. But this catch might be tough for Get Back. Puts up the stopwatch, gets the stun.
Yeah, no,
trying to skirt them back, and he's fine. Psycho's coming up. What a play. Notice Ahmad Orange as well, trying to turn this back around. They're all A-okay.
That's a great play from Get Back. That's the buy Ari combo that we're looking for, where you go for the cease and desist, you go for the R charm from messages, but the stopwatch comes through. So Maryville get everything they want and lose nothing for it in exchange, really. And oh wow, Scary Jerry.
Jerry pops the ultimate, not just one though. Trying to get air in the poke is nice, but not a ton of crit. Can't just really run them down just yet.
Yeah, I love the aggression. You can see that bit of an experience lead coming through here because they're shoving in this wave. But overall, they're just getting this aggressive so that they can walk and set up for Dragon, go for this recall, whatever it is they're really looking for here. And so far, Maryville, Dragons haven't been really their focus so far. And you can even see the vision on the bottom side that they haven't really been prioritizing it here. So now they have that choice, because Scary Jerry and Zyko are coming from the back, but they shouldn't be able to get to the pit first here. But you look at it, NXI messages, they're looking for the angle. Even the teleports are coming in from Bijani.
Oh, they charm onto Odd Orange, trying to burst him down. Nice stun once again. They re-engage out of the fight. Orange catches 3.
Okay, that's one.
Over the wall, and Xi is caught as the rest of the laners do come in. Get Back and Niall trying to fight it out, but there's far too many members of the Last Dance. And Aaron standing safe towards the backside should be enough. Can Jerry make the difference? Is only one shorty with the pigtails, but not enough. The poke and prod dodges that. He might do enough.
Oh wow!
What a play by Bijani to get the ace.
And what a crucial fight for Last Dance. Maryville seemed to slip up big time here. Look at the mini-map. They were very disjointed on what they wanted to do. You can see Scary Jerry is walking away straight to the bot lane. But if you look at Sketch and Aaron, they're walking to this fight. They knew what they needed to do to go for this Drake. So because of that numbers advantage, they were able to turn things around. So much has gone bad for Maryville before Scary Jerry even shows up to the party. Doesn't do a lick of damage until basically his entire team is dead.
Yeah, and I do want to give a shout out to Bijani there as well, because he got a stun out to 3 of them.
Yeah.
And knocked in one more person. So really, really crucial player in the entire fight. Even this final end off here as well is seriously impressive. But as you can see, both teams are once again positioning around Dragon once more to see who can possibly take it. All of Maryville are back up.
Yeah, so it's worth noting, you do get a lot of first item spikes coming through here. Oh wow, they're going for it.
Jerry once again though has to run away. Zyko might be caught alongside Niles, and Xi goes in on them.
Get Back, he's too far.
It's a 4v5, but Get Back now comes in. Jerry pops to the ADC's final of the year, taking the fight as 5. Looking for Sketch, who's isolated on 1. And I think the Last Dance will walk away from this. The Dragon taken by MU.
Right, it almost looked good for the side of Last Dance, but Get Back came in late, but he still managed to have that impact, blowing up Aaron, who had no sums, no ult, and he just ended up securing the Drake. So Maryville now on their way to start stacking. Oh, we're fighting.
Interesting. Yeah, Get Back has stun up too, so yeah, easy pick on NXI, just a little bit more gold for themselves.
Not expecting Scary Jerry to be there, but a bit of a miscalculation coming through from Last Dance. Now they get punished for it. They're giving more gold, and basically what they did in those last couple of minutes kind of become null. Niles is still this powerhouse here in the top side, but Aaron is gonna pop the ghost.
Alright, Bladestorm as well. Oh, look at the
Oh, wow, he got him.
That was kind of nice. He dodged that shock blast that allows him to stay alive. Okay.
That was a big one there. Really nice one from Aaron to get Niles, who is a little too low and pushing too far. That's something back, but in terms of neutrals, you're still losing out on a lot of them. Maryville gets another Rift Herald. They're going to be able to knock down this mid-tier 1 turret, which is almost certainly going to be where they're dropping it, and just continue breaking open the map here. You're seeing these gold leads really start to culminate across the board, but to Last Dance's credit, Aaron has a lead over Scary Jerry of about 500.
Yeah, because Across the board, Maryville maintains about 3,000 gold lead, and most of that is centered on the side of Niles with about 1,700 on his end. So we did speak to, just his leadership and just how well he usually does, especially on a signature pick like his Jace as well. I haven't seen a ton of his GP throughout the season, but, very, very comfortable. This champion has played it an abundance amount both this seasons and many of the times he was both on and off the LCS. So that's, I find maintains consistent.
Yeah.
But Maryville, again, looking for another fighter as is the last dance. One catch out onto Nile.
Wow, they got him.
They'll take away the Jace. The trade should be there for Odd Orange, and there we go. Both junglers get one.
It ends up going 1-for-1, but I like this from NXI and Messages. They're looking for these plays, and this is what we needed to see from the two of them. I mean, Messages has been having a pretty solid game on the Ahri so far, following up well on NXI, but it's Maryville's ability to continue getting things back that's what's allowing them to stay ahead of the game here. Now, you have this hover from a few members of Last Dance, but at this point, get back?
Yeah,
they could just go for this, couldn't they?
Yeah, they have repair, so they should be able to do that to knock this down 2v3. But the words of the day continue to be mid-jungle here, Beatdown. Again, mid-jungle for both teams in the series that we saw previously, and mid-jungle again for the Last Dance in terms of the win cons. NXI Messages around the same vicinity, but Maryville has learned their lesson, so they'll bring more homes to the party.
Wow, they're bringing all their friends, basically, except for Niles, who is up in the top lane. But they are going to be taking down or getting very low this bottom tier 1 turret. And you can see it. Last Dance, they're committing members to hold it down, make sure it doesn't go down very easily, and keep their side of the map as pushed up as they can. It's going to make it harder for Maryville to push out a lot of these waves and set up deep vision. You can see they've done a little bit on that bottom side and can continue dragon stacking. But for now, Last Dance have still been able to slow things down a bit.
Both teams looking for any sort of advantage they can pull up. Seen NXI do that previously as the catch up we saw before, and even Aaron to taking the 1v1s that we've seen. But right now, just wanted to get the lanes in order for both of them. With one turret broken open, at least, for the side of Maryville. Want to try to crack open bot tier as well, and mid remains closed for both of these sides. And the biggest thing that I might swing it would be this next dragon fight, which is up in the next 50 seconds.
And I'm waiting to see what Aaron is able to purchase on that recall. Okay, so he has that 2 items. That Navori Quick Blades is actually pretty big for the Xayah. And he has that experience again over Scary Jerry. But we're seeing the teleport to mid here after this wave from Niles. Bajani surely going to follow suit if Last Dance want to fight for this Drake. And with that pickup from Aaron on the Xayah, I actually really like Last chances here when you look at Scary Jerry, who hasn't quite crested over the 2-item mark.
Be a big point of focus for themselves, as we see Jerry has had to exit the fights, out of fear being caught out early on. So we'll see right now. His position is going to matter a lot. I believe they actually got, NXI did match, this might be the blue, so clutch call on that as Dragon is now up. Let's look at the lay of the land here.
Yeah, they don't want to, actually, it doesn't look like they want to do this as Last Dance. They're just going to clear vision and go for this mid-tier 1 turret. And, it's fine. It's the second Drake for Maryville. Soul isn't the biggest thing for you here, as long as you walk away, spend the gold that you just earned, unless...
They go in, they get the Solar Flare down. Nice dodge to the last second, but it's not enough for Aaron. Both sounds blown, the bot lane is dead. Get back and Niles looking to chase it, they can, but they're already under the turrets.
Oh, that's big for Maryville. Last Dance wanted to try and do something after the Drake, but they end up getting punished for it. Now Maryville are the ones who can go for the Baron, and now they can continue this gold lead that they've got going through here. This is Maryville now firmly grasping control here in game 1.
Maryville, the biggest point of contention for themselves coming into the series was T fighting. Speaking to Tees, he said how they need to improve their comms and making sure that they're all on the same page when they enter a kerfuffle. They've been taking inspiration from LCK, Tees said, and I think being pretty satiated in their position and looking quite comfortable with the fights they're taking definitely speaks to that.
Right, it's been working so far. I mean, again, Maryville having that dominance throughout the entire qualifiers, winning both of them, only dropping 2 games across all the matches that they played these last couple of months here. It's just been some incredible stuff, and it just continues to show today. Now, Baron in their hands on the side of Maryville means that they're also going to be able to start knocking down more structures, pick up more gold. There's still a lot of outer turrets available, despite this 4k gold lead, so a lot of easy gold for them to pick up, and now they finally have the opportunity to be able to really push that vision line even further and make it easier for them to contest these Drakes.
Early game moves now just holding out dividends for themselves, but see what they can actually do with this Baron buff. Just small advantages, but if anything should result in 1, if not 2 turrets for themselves. Cracking open mid would be the most essential mission that they have. But they're still more focusing on lanes that they have a push in on, which makes complete sense, I say.
Yeah, and you can see Maryville sacrificing actually a good bit of gold and XP, having Get Back Nat just now walk towards that top side shows that priority here and making use of the Baron buff. They commit so many people to this side of the map, and they get it done. So they knock down another turret. Makes it even easier for people like Niles, Get Back, to get these lanes pushed deep and give the space to set up vision like we've seen Maryville done this entire time. And now, hey! Oh, what? Oh. I did not know that interaction worked like that. That's tilting. I'm just gonna say.
I guess, yeah, even though the actual point-and-click stun lands from sketches doesn't matter because the drag still connects, so Autoroid gets to walk out for free. Not bad at all.
And then you get a big ult out of Last Dance as well. Another one with that all-in onto Aaron. At least they'll have these ults back in time for the dragon fight, but more pressure on the side of the map. And with this Baron buff still here for 40 seconds, Maryville just picking up even more gold.
Yeah, they're also linking up waves, so you see on the top side too. So sending Get Back there early on, just kind of solo dolo and allowing it to push and gives him more of that experience too, as they want to make sure they get the Annie more online. Because right now though, still pretty even in terms of the matchup. But what was a Baron buff, you find that they were kind of taking the time with. Here, they've used that to snowball into almost 4 turrets in a row. And wanting to open up the base. The Last Dance is watching as that's happening. Putting out the barrel will only slow them down. Whoa! Fight a huge cataclysm as the rest of them are cornered inside of their base. What was a slow chip turns into an explosion for Maryville.
And honestly, it wasn't even just the Cataclysm. Niles gets a huge shock blast. So much damage. It's just that go button there for Maryville. They know they have the angle. So that's an inhibitor down on the top side. And the perfect setup needed for Maryville to get their soul point. And the cherry on top. 8,000 gold ahead, Ravish. What an incredible Baron power play they got.
Slow and controlled throughout the entire time we were watching them, not trying to necessarily overgrass on anything. They knew they could build their advantage through their lanes, and so we praise Maryville for through all of our cues and through even the sort of collegiate time as well too. They know they have the better players in their own mindset, and they show it every single time they hop on the left tier beatdown. And all they gotta do right now is close out the game. We are in final to second final fight territory. Soul points on the board. Auto Orange, a double knock-up onto Sketch and Bajani, but now comes in messages. They're looking for more, but Zyko has them covered. Sketch with the rest, but he's gotta run away. The stun does nothing. Messages gets run down by Odd Orange as it's 3 gone for the Last Dance.
Oh, Scary Jerry also wants some more for himself, but these are long spawn timers. You see them walk into the top side, you see them teleporting in. Maryville, they're going for the close.
All you gotta do is walk in this wave of super minions. 30 seconds still on the biggest members, but Johnny up in 15. Can NXI and Sketch do it? No, honestly, yeah, it's not happening.
I know, I was gonna say.
They'll close this out in 26-minute Maryville University to take the first game against the Last Dance.
And Maryville continuing to show us why they're a team we value very highly, and you guys especially praise so much coming up from the qualifiers over on the qualifiers broadcast. And it's just some good stuff they see. And we got some good looks from Last Dance, but Maryville, that teamwork, that individual prowess was too strong.
playmaking ability, solid macro, and just dominance by the end of it. That is the Maryville way, but one more game is still left. Will that continue? Well, find out after this short break.